internationally well-known aspect that good, this brings further good. Some good action a person does, that becomes the catalyst for something further, to become some other good to be done. And likewise, one wrong becomes a means of another wrong. So this is a common issue, this is across the board. But there are certain things that have a very dramatic effect in this regard. In the Hadith Sharif, one of the things that is mentioned is that فَإِنَّ الصِّدْقَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْبِرِّ وَإِنَّ الْبِرَّ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. That truthfulness, honesty, now this is a very important aspect in deen, but it is being highlighted in a very special way here. That this leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to Jannat. So now, any other good deed also is an act of righteousness, but honesty, truthfulness, this is being highlighted as having a very, very direct effect, that a person whose life is based on honesty, based on truthfulness, he is not prepared to lie, he is not prepared to compromise in this regard of honesty and truthfulness. This is like almost a shortcut to Jannat, because his whole life will be then truthful. If he's truthful with the makhluk, with Allah Ta'ala's creation, then it's far-fetched that he'll be truthful to people, but his life won't be based on truth with Allah Ta'ala. So a person whose life is based on truth, this is a shortcut to Jannat. And on the other side, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, وَإِنَّ الْكَذِبَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْفُجُورِ وَإِنَّ الْفُجُورَ يَهْدِي إِلَى النَّارِ. That lying leads to sin. Now lying itself is a major sin, but this leads to innumerable sins. It's not that it will stop there, that one lie. A person thinks, well, I got away with one lie, so that's the end of the story. That will become a whole line of things, a whole sequence of events will fall into place, taking him in the wrong direction. One lie will lead to another lie, that lie will lead to some other wrong, and one thing after the other. And now this is actually what is being highlighted, so to say, is that lying is a shortcut to Jahannam. That a person might have a lot of other things in place, a lot of other good he's doing, but if his life is based on lying, his life is involved in every now and again some lie of some sort, so he will start lying with people, and then this lie, obviously you can't lie to Allah Ta'ala, but this life becomes a life of nifaq, a life of hypocrisy. Then he lives a so-called double life, but that double life doesn't remain hidden forever. Sooner or later everything then just gets exposed. Then a person loses his respect in dunya also, but the worst thing is then in the akhirat he's in serious problem. So a person who wants that shortcut to Jannat, his life has to be based on truthfulness. There isn't, in the time of Jahiliyat also, in the time prior to Islam, and in the early days also, the kuffar, even the disbelievers, the worst thing that they could think about was that it becomes known that they lied. So they would never lie, they would avoid a lie, they would do all kinds of evil, but they would not get involved in lying, because that was the worst thing that they could ever imagine being caught for. So that was the extent to which this was regarded as such an abhorrent thing, so terrible. So a person who gets caught up in lying, then this becomes a very, very slippery slope, then the person just goes downhill. Therefore, all the time to keep checking, double checking. Sometimes we take it for granted that no, this was just a little, what we call it, give it some other name. This was just a white lie, this was this kind of lie, and so on. But all these things then eventually lead to a very different manner of conducting oneself, all the time based on a lie, based on a deception, and a life of deception finally leads to the life of nifaq. Allah Ta'ala ki wasta.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।